Hey everybody, Meteorologist Mike Slifer here in the First Look Forecast Center. It has been a busy day for the weather, and we certainly still have a lot to talk about, not just about what's happening right now, but about what to expect later this week. Let's kick things off, though, with a rewind of the clock. We did not go through our November stats yet. So the average temperature for the month was 41.1 degrees, 1.2 degrees below normal, a typical November. We were certainly a bit drier than normal, too, with only 1.95 inches of rain, and we only had a trace of snow. So as we've been mentioning, those snowfall deficits have been growing, and even with the official amount of snow today at Bradley so far, 2 inches, we didn't quite have enough to knock out the deficits in their entirety. But when it came to snow today, we certainly saw a bit of a split in the state, with northwestern Connecticut being favored for the highest totals, which is what we were expecting. Canaan coming in at 5 inches. 4.8 inches in Winstead, 4 inches in Simsbury, New Preston 2.5 inches, 1.3 inches in Vernon, Bolton 1 inch. So even where the snow fell, there was a decent variety in the actual totals, and it was certainly of the wet and heavy consistency, making it difficult to move. We'll show you some pictures from earlier today. This was snapped in Colebrook. Jeb took this picture. You can see the snow there on the ground, and we'll show you this picture from Suffield. You'll again note the snow there off the deck. So Suffield saw some snow. Points West saw snow. As you head east, snow was a lot less likely, and that's because of the warmer air that intruded not only at the surface but a little bit higher up in the atmosphere. First Alert Live Radar right now is showing we still have a variety of precip types out there, and this is really all courtesy of the little bit of cold air that's still trapped in some spots. Let's zoom in here near the greater Waterbury area, say closer to Woodbury and Watertown. That's where we see some purple popping up, bit of an icy mix south of 84 into the Naugatuck Valley. We're looking more at, we'll say, a little bit of rain through Beacon Falls and into Prospect. If we zoom in a little bit farther north, though, this is likely a bit more in the way of snow. Just moved through Torrington, moving into Harwinton now, New Hartford, Barkhamsted, and north into Heartland. So when it comes to the actual impact here, we're not expecting too much from this. And you'll know on the statewide perspective, we really don't see much else going on. So improving, slowly but surely improving. Now, as we move forward in time, we do want to let you know that we're battling some drizzle, and that's going to have some impacts too. Now, when it comes to the actual precip types that we've seen out there, quick breakdown on this. So when the snowflakes first fall out of the cloud, air temperatures below freezing. When the rest of the air is above freezing, well, that's when we have just plain rain. On the flip side, when it's cold, below freezing from the cloud to the ground, that's when we have just snow. But what we saw today was a lot of this mix in between. And that's when we deal with sleet and, unfortunately, freezing rain, which is something that we have dealt with throughout the day and are dealing with right now in some parts of the state. So the sleet itself, there's a little pocket of warmer air higher up in the atmosphere. So the snowflakes melt, and then they freeze, falling as little balls of ice, sleet pings. Freezing rain, on the other hand, is when there's a large section of the atmosphere that is warmed up, so all those snowflakes can melt. And then at the ground, we are at or below freezing. So as soon as it hits anything, whether that be a handrail or a tree or a car or, unfortunately, the roadways, it freezes on contact. And that's how we end up with that icy glare. So sleet pings and freezing rain clings. Easy way to tell the difference between the two. And freezing rain certainly is one of the worst types of precip that we deal with because of that icy glaze that it puts on everything. Now, we are improving across the state, as we mentioned. We'll take you live to Mystic here. Still shows some rain coming down in the camera light there. We've got a car there stopped on the Basco Bridge, out moving now. We'll take you next to Old Saybrook along the shoreline where it was just plain rain. Very clearly can see the grass. Again, no snow to worry about, and that was the case throughout the entire day. In New Haven right now, it's currently 40 degrees. Wind is out of the north at 17 miles per hour. The green is looking green and quite damp, and that dampness is going to play a role in the forecast moving forward. We'll take you next to Middletown. Certainly still quite damp. Not only that, but we start to see more in the way of, say, drizzle. We can see the raindrops on the camera lens. We'll take you to our iCam view in Hartford, overlooking the ice skating rink at Bushnell Park for Winterfest. And if you'll look off to the sides, everything looks sort of white. That is not snow, but rather the sleet and freezing rain that built up on the grass. So this is between on the edge of Bushnell Park toward Pulaski Circle. And all of the untreated surfaces have frozen over. And we'll finish off with our iCam view in Torrington, where we do see snow on the rooftops and on the ground. So we do expect, unfortunately, everything to freeze up tonight. Certainly a bit of a freezing concern, as temperatures right now are mainly above freezing, but forecast to drop back down as the night goes on. It is a bit windy out there, too. Wind gusts have picked up to, if not over 30 miles per hour along the shoreline. We'll say gusts 20 to 30 miles an hour throughout inland Connecticut. So when you combine these two factors, the wind, it makes it feel a bit colder out there. But really the bigger story here is going to be that temperatures themselves, not just wind chill values, temperatures themselves drop down below freezing. And that will happen in the pre-dawn hours tomorrow. Timing-wise, not great, because this means that some untreated surfaces, sidewalks, side roads, your driveway, steps coming out of your house will all be frozen over tomorrow morning as you get ready to start your morning commute. Ice scrapers will be necessary tomorrow morning, too. And we've gone ahead and declared tomorrow a first alert weather day, sort of a short fused one here, focused mostly on Wednesday morning. It's those icy surfaces impacting travel. Travel could certainly be a bit slow at times throughout the day tomorrow. We're expecting temperatures to be in the 20s inland, 30 along the shoreline, so things will really become icy. That perhaps could lead to some delays in parts of the state tomorrow, especially areas that maybe saw a little bit more snow earlier today where cleanup is still ongoing. Temperatures tomorrow do climb back into the mid and upper 30s and low 40s. So with temperatures above freezing, some sunshine, big improvements are expected heading into the afternoon. The overarching picture tomorrow is actually for brighter skies. We'll watch this cold front dive south, and this is going to be an Arctic front. As it moves closer to Connecticut, it eventually will bring the risk for some snow showers on Thursday. We don't expect much of an impact. And there it goes, clearing Connecticut, and we are certainly really interested in what happens behind it. While Thursday will be, again, maybe a bit cloudy with some isolated snow showers, temperature-wise similar to tomorrow. That's not the case for Friday. Friday is our next big thing. It is going to be unseasonably cold. High temperatures will be below freezing. In fact, this will be the coldest day we've seen in over 9 months, which is why it's a first alert weather day. Friday morning, temperatures in the single digits and 10 to 15 degree range. And by the afternoon, not much of a recovery with highs in the mid and upper 20s inland, low 30s the rest of the state, especially closer to the shoreline. Typically, we would be in the low and mid 40s. Unseasonably cold out there on Friday. Thankfully, we are not looking at much of a wind, so while it is cold, temperatures will feel true to themselves. Saturday's improving. Now we're actually expecting a brighter afternoon. On Sunday, we're back in the upper 30s. By Monday and Tuesday, that cold air returns with highs back in the 20s early next week. Now along the shoreline, 41 and 42 tomorrow and Thursday. 31 Friday. By Saturday, 39, 41 Sunday, into the mid-30s on Monday and Tuesday. So our only chance for precip will be those snow showers on Thursday. At least from here on out, of course. We still have the drizzle out there tonight. And that could locally enhance the icy conditions in some spots. Looking a little bit longer term here, December 10th through the 16th, this map shows shades of blue over Connecticut, a higher likelihood that temperatures will remain below normal. And you may be thinking to yourself, what is normal by the middle of December? Well, it's 41 for the Hartford area, but with this pattern in mind, perhaps we'll be talking about more days in the 30s or even the 20s like we see early next week, temperatures that would be more typical, say, in January or February. If you've yet to break out your winter coat, might be the time to get that done. When it comes to the actual winter season, we had 9 hours and 20 minutes of daylight today. These are some of the shortest days of the year upon us as we approach the winter solstice. We've lost 5 hours and 44 minutes of daylight, which means we only have 13 minutes of daylight to lose. The winter solstice is on December 22nd, and as we get into, say, the final days of the month, we'll be gaining daylight. Not only that, but by the end of the month, sunset is back to 4:30. So it's not a huge difference, but it'll be slightly noticeable. And you'll really start to see those changes take place as we get later into January. We'll be gaining daylight at a faster rate, and especially through February into March and April. So, this time of year, it is winter. It's a little dark and certainly cold, at least with this current pattern. We'll have to see how the rest of the month treats us, but there will be plenty of chances for, we'll say, wintry mixed events like we saw, snow or rain or something in between. So be sure to download the free First Alert Weather app. We don't really see much of a chance for that over the next 7 days. Instead, we're focused mostly on the snow shower chance Thursday, a bit breezy out there, and then the cold that follows for Friday. We'll have another First Alert Weather Extra tomorrow morning. Otherwise, you can get the full forecast on the Wax tonight at 10, Channel 3 at 11, and with Scott Haney tomorrow morning starting at 4:30 on Channel 3. Hope you'll join us on the Wax in 20. Have a great night.